Good evening. It is September 1st, 2016. 12 years after the first call went out in this country for a national inquiry into missing and murdered Aboriginal women and girls. Today, it quietly began. Years of suffering and a generation lost to death and indifference has finally brought Canada to this momentous day. By its nature, slow going, even as more First Nations families continue to be stalked by sorrow. Here's CTV's Ottawa Bureau Chief Joyce Napier.
To the more than 1,200 missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls in this country, you can now add one more name, Christine Wood. It's a lonely and desperate search for her mother, Melinda. She traveled to Winnipeg for a short visit with her 21-year-old daughter. On Friday, August 19th, Christine left their room at this hotel and never came back.
Please, Christine, if you hear this, please, just come. Call me, tell me where you are. Just come home.
The plea of a heartbroken mother, this one from the Oxford House Reserve in northern Manitoba. The posters around Winnipeg tell an all too familiar story. Melinda Wood said she won't leave the city without her daughter. She reported her missing to police.
Nothing much they can do, they said, because he's an adult, 21 years old.
And today, after years of pressure from Aboriginal communities, the federal government launches its long-awaited commission.
As somebody says, you begin at the beginning, and that's to meet. The commissioners and I will meet and discuss our process, our procedure, how we want the inquiry to go.
It will take months before the commission hears its first witnesses and more than 2 years before it makes its recommendations. And in the meantime, more women disappear.
We hear every week yet another young Indigenous woman, yet another mother or sister has gone missing or been assaulted.
And Indigenous communities are hoping they'll finally get answers.
Hoping that these commissioners can rise to the challenge and really get at the root of what's wrong and not do a broad sociological overview of what we already know.
So the commission is off to a slow start, and it's already over its $40 million budget. It will now cost $54 million. Add to that another $16 million to help families bring specific criminal cases to police in their bid to finally see some justice. Lisa?
All right, Joyce, thanks for this tonight from Ottawa.